This is why it's not good to be Axelrod. I think things up, and then literally 5 seconds later, I forget everything. Suck a foo. Well, that's interesting. It shows which chapters people are on here. Never noticed that before. See, now I'm going to be stuck in this spot of like, what am I trying to remember that I forgot? Ugh, life is hard. Chapter 3 To Oblivion. So, Ryan asks Dr. Lester, the fairy is back. What does that mean? Yeah, I know, my curiosity will be the death of me, one day. But I can't seem to tear myself away from this case. Hey, Manadria, thank you very much for the 21 months. Appreciate it. Oh. I should probably get this out of the way. We're more than likely going to be doing a short stream today. Maybe 2.5 hours. Kind of as indicated yesterday. I don't know for sure, but I think all the splits are done for the Race the World first. So it's mythic time, I think, maybe. We'll have to see. And I know I don't have, I'm just wasting time right now, but I have to I have to tell somebody about this. Okay, I've been watching this show called Bull on Amazon. And it's about a trial consultant who is a psychologist who reads how jurors are feeling in a trial, and then uses that information to kind of direct the lawyer to ask certain questions or direct certain statements and things like that, so that they can manipulate essentially jurors into, finding their client. Words are escaping me. To get their client to not be guilty or liable or whatever. So, an episode that I had just watched a couple days ago was about a shooter game called Titanfall, which is an actual real game. And it was an esports episode where there was this tournament going on, and there were 70 million people watching from home this tournament for the best player in the world playing Titanfall. And they go into a match, and his teammates, they're like losing against the other team. Apparently it's best of one. And the big star, the best player in the world, he's quote unquote choking. Not like choking as in, like something stuck in his throat, but like he's not playing as well. And it gets to the point where his teammates are like, just take the shot, man. You got it lined up. Because, they would totally know that he has a shot lined up and everything like that. And he misses the shot, and then his team loses the $3 million or $30 million pot for the prize pool or whatever. And that player gets sued for for like intentionally throwing the match or something like that. And like that's just the very beginning, you know, like the first 3 minutes of the episode. This episode, I mean, first of all, this show is insane, in a like not good way. This episode has to be one of the silliest episodes I've ever seen. And if you have Amazon Prime, you know, you could waste 50 minutes of your life watching this episode and being like, you know what? That was the silliest episode I've ever seen in my life. They bring in experts to analyze the pro player's gameplay to see you know, if he actually threw the match on purpose and stuff like that. As someone who actually plays video games, it was very entertaining to see how people from the outside see the gaming universe, specifically like esports too. Anyways, my husband is still the same. He won't come out of his room. So I'm going in. The fairy is back. Someone told me to give you this message. Fairy in the village. Is this some kind of prank? It's no such thing, I assure you. Wait, the fairy? Heavens no, could she be... Who? Who could that be? I really don't have the time to... You. Apologies, Keats. Please come back tonight. Of course. Something strange about Dr. Lester's reaction. Something about Ellen. Something about Mary, too. Oh, well, he told me to come tonight, so I suppose he's ready to talk to me. I really wish I could remember the first thing that I wanted to say. Oh, I remember. All right, do you remember how my microphone volume would go down in my system settings and things like that, and I could never figure out what the cause was? Well, I figured out what is reducing my system setting microphone volume. And it's Zoom. For work, sometimes I go into Zoom meetings on this computer. And apparently, if I ever talk in those Zoom meetings, it's doing something to my system setting volume for my microphone, and now I know the cause. Don't know how to fix it, but I know what's causing it, and I am so glad that I know. Now, anytime I have a Zoom meeting on this computer, it can be like, let me just bump that volume right back up there. Is Dr. Lester out? Mr. Keats, was it? Please, could you please find my husband? I can't find him anywhere in the village. He almost never leaves the house. I'm so afraid that something has happened to him. Suzette has gone to the lighthouse and beach. Then there's the henge. Okay, I'll help you. You can't go outside and look for your husband by yourself, sucker? Um, I'm gonna go to the lighthouse. I don't actually remember where he is. Lester already looked around here, which just leaves the henge. Oh, well, okay. I thought she said I, or he's around the lighthouse, or he could be around the lighthouse, or something. I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Is the doctor here? No, I can't seem to find him anywhere. I've searched the beach. I'm heading to the henge. That's such a frightening place. No one goes there, especially not at night. What a pathetic thing to say. Which reminds me, isn't Ellen looking as well? I haven't seen her. She isn't at home. The plot thickens. But anyways, I'm glad to have found that, because that issue has definitely plagued me for a really long time. And wow. Why did you I guess there's gonna be voice acting here.
Who is it? He's dead.
Who indeed? Time for the mystery guest to make an entrance.
The issue has plagued many a games. Dr. Lester. My goodness, what happened? He was murdered. By whom? I don't know. The hag, it must be her. The hag? You've read one too many fairy tales. No, it's true. A strange woman has been lurking around. Ellen, perhaps your coming has triggered all of this madness. Could be you, Keats. Yes. Could be. It could be us. I remember that. Like, yes. It could be you. Or it could be us. Or perhaps it is fate. Laughter. Why was the doctor killed? What could the motive have been? Looks like I need to have a long conversation with Miss Lester. Poor Mrs. I never know. The whole MRS, MISS, MS, I forgot that knowledge such a long time ago. And, we're just going to go with Miss for everything. One of them is like Mrs. And, I don't know. Maybe, I think. I want to look into your husband's death. Ellen came here yesterday. Just what was her relationship with the doctor? I don't know. She reminded my husband of Cecilia. And he was muttering Cecilia's name. Cecilia. She was friends with Herve, but she's been dead for 17 years, too. More dead people. Isn't there anyone still alive here? I can't take much more of this, I'm sorry. I think that's enough for today. You must be tired too, Mr. Keats. Thank you for looking for my husband. Yeah, I suppose you're right. I should be getting back. Yesterday was busy. I'm ready to drop. So, how are we supposed to, I guess, interpret this? Home Chick Slice has a alter ego, potentially at nighttime, and she just runs around murdering people? One of the fairies took her face and running around murdering people? I don't really know where they're going with this. Could be Lulu. Or Lucy. Could be. Could be. We haven't heard much or seen much of Lehu. I have no idea where I'm supposed to go, but let's try talking to Ellen first. Be gone. Wonder how Ellen got on. Head to bed and get some rest. What are you talking about? What's causing these murders? Are you sure the black cloaked figure that you saw was a woman? Definitely sure. Sure as dropping a black jelly bean into some black coffee and having myself pick out that black bean with chopsticks. Real life Levain, the hair under the hood looked black, but that's just them tricksing. Levain will cat hair. Levain, as far as they've explained it, Levain is the real person. She was a messenger, and I don't think we know that she died. She could just be in the netherworld, you know, for eternity or something like that. But Levain also looks like Ellen to me, so that's suspicious. And that killer definitely looks like Ellen. So who is that hag that we saw before? Surely you don't think that she's some kind of monster too, do you? Well, I think it was a woman. Also, like, they didn't, like, chase after the hag. I was expecting the hag to disappear, like, when it went behind that rock, but it didn't. I mean, I guess, in reality, people are probably not going to be chasing after somebody who just killed someone with a knife, but, stand up. Stay away. Please, just leave me alone. Wait, do I have to go, like, didn't I just sleep? Do I have to sleep again? Heard someone was killed. Hey now, it wasn't me. Even if I were to kill someone, it would be for simpler reasons. Why is that thing so shiny? Dr. Lester wanted to stop practicing medicine, but any time that a villager got sick, he would be there to help them. Now that's a dedicated doctor. That's Dr. Lester's home. It is a new day. Maybe you'll want to talk to me. I think I saw O'Connell in the streets, so he's probably not in here. Alright, we're running out of places to explore. Thought I saw something right there. Alright, before I go to all of these other places, I think I'm just going to go to sleep and then go to Ellen's house, and I'm gonna see how that works out for me. I'll go sleep first. How's the game going? The game is going. It be going. Also, Kylor. Wow. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that they put me to sleep there. Is it XI 11 10I XL? You know, just lowercase L. Is it times I? You know, help me out here so that I know for the future. This is why am I here? Sleepwalking, eh? Not as bad as Ellen. Speak of the devil. It's 11, but just ignore it. Okay. Keats, why are you here? Yes, well, shouldn't wander about with the murderer on the loose. Ellen, did you find something linked to this location? Yes, but it won't work. I wonder why. Well, that's strange. Let me have a look at it, will you? Yes, of course. Medical records written by Dr. Lester. Well, I'd better get on my way. Keats, I'm depending on you. Please track down this murderer. I feel like the scene played out differently in Ellen's route. I'll find out about the past. The murders of the past and present are linked. The villagers are hiding something. I need to know the truth. Whatever happened 17 years ago is connected to me. This picture. Found it with the medical records. Picture of the sea. Feel as if I've seen it before. Seems that Cecilia hid this. Why does it seem familiar? That's it. It's a view from the beach. It is? Doesn't look like it. Go to the shore and you'll see. It only exists because usernames are always taken everywhere? Ah. Gotcha. These medical records are for a boy named Herv. It looks like he was quite sick. Well now, let's see what the dead have to say to me. Family photo. Did I use the family photo? These flowers will honor Herv's death. I'll offer them to the Cliff of Sidhe. Cliff of Sidhe, eh? I know your pain on that one, Kylor. I once upon a time went by Draco Dragon 09. And that 09 was there because I like the number 9, but also because Draco Dragon was sometimes taken. You know, I guess other people out there really wanted to be called Dragon too.
ago, these people envisioned the netherworld far across the sacred seas. I can certainly understand why.
When you played Final Fantasy XI, your character name was Kylor. When you were making a character, you spent like 4 hours trying to come up with a name, but everything was taken. Do be like that. I know that pain. This is the Undersea City. Forgotten by man, its fate is to crumble into nothingness. The folklore is within the Forgotten Palace beyond. But beware, it would seem that the fairies have come to this place. I want to hear the story more than I want that folklore thing, but still. Just why are those fairies following Ellen around? Won't they end up being driven away as in Warcadia? Their goal lies within the very heart of the Netherworld core. That is the final destination for those who seek truth in the Netherworld. Doesn't really tell me much. Could you fill in the details? Buried memories, submerged truth. It is a place for emotions and memories that would otherwise make life unbearable. People are able to carry on with their lives by leaving those things there. So it's oblivion. I see. Voila. The perfect place to look for Ellen's lost memories. The fairies want to release those thoughts and memories of the Netherworld. Things that people had forgotten. I think I've got it. I'm finally starting to, anyway. Go ahead and save. When you whined at your mom that you couldn't come up with a name, and she said this name, and it worked, so you went with it. But then, on other things, Kylo was taken. Yeah. I had that issue too. Everybody just wants to take your names, you know? But typically it's, you always want to take everybody's names. You know, someone out there always had it first. There was a decision that played out in Ellen's route that did not play out in this route, and I think it was the photo that was the photo that was in two pieces. Ellen, I'm pretty sure Ellen had the photo, and Keats was like, could I hang on to this until tomorrow? And then it gave me a choice, and I said no. But in this route, I haven't gotten that. Aren't you Herv? Yes, I am. Who are you? I'm a reporter. I work for a magazine called Unknown Realm. Really, I know that magazine. I used to read it all the time. Did you? Well, you have to have good taste then, son. Or you have good taste. So, what are you up to? Going to the Swamp of Oblivion. That way my entire existence can be forgotten. You know, if you just talk to me, I might be able to sort all of this out. Just forget about all that stuff. It's because of people like you that I have to disappear. Goodbye, I've got to go. rapidly for combo attacks. This is still not that charging move that they do. That's the one that I want. You notice that too? He just said you can have it immediately without asking. Kind of makes me think that if I approached it differently in Ellen's route, might have had a better outcome. Apparently you're dead. What did I get? Heavy damage with powerful earth attacks. Press rapidly to fire successive ice blocks forward. Ice elements. Shockwave landing in front of teeth. This is interesting, I guess. Let's see. Let's redo some stuff here. Put you there. Put you there. What a sucker. Oh, that's how that... Did I know that? I don't know if I knew that. Absorb and defeat. Oh, there was another way over there, and I did not go over there. Supposedly there's like a secret cloak in this place. Oops. What was that? That was Cannon Guy. going north. Rank 4. I don't actually know what the ranks mean. I'm assuming that's level, but I haven't been paying attention to that at all. Which character's combat do I like more? I feel like both characters are exactly the same. Yeah, there's minor differences. But they're basically exactly the same. Oh, sucker. It's really bad this guy is going to interrupt me. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. Pretty sure it's id, not ID, by the way. That's the game's problem. Could have had somebody with voice acting say, gotta collect those ids. I don't know what an id is. Interesting. Oh. Interesting. I was like, I don't know what's going on. Not me. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. This is the northern end, which is where I would want to go. Just like it in Xenogears. Id ego and super ego. It is your negative emotions. I'm just gonna have to throw out there that I think ID sounds better. There's a fork in the road this way. Which way will you go? Beyond here, an enormous folk called Exedra makes its lair. Body's like stone, but it can fly through the air. But it has a weakness, fire. Beyond here is the Forgotten Palace. This was once where the king of the undersea city kept his throne and kingdom. But now, well, just look at it. The king of this land was enveloped by the folklore. Yeah, that folklore stuff is nice, but tell me about the Swamp of Oblivion. Someone who knows something about this case is heading there as we speak. What's that? The memory of anyone entering the Swamp of Oblivion is immediately erased from anyone or everyone. We wouldn't even remember him. That would be a problem. I've got to bring him back. Chase two birds, you'll lose them both. The Forgotten Palace is about to collapse. By the time you got back from the swamp, it could be gone. What's this? Looks like the Fairy Lord has decided to put in an appearance. This should be good. Levain. You are a curse upon the netherworld. Up to your old tricks again. How many messengers have died this way? Silence. This is all for the netherworld. Keats, why? Looks like there are two sides to this conflict. By the way, Ellen, about that boy Herv. Herv? He's headed for the Swamp of Oblivion. The swamp? You can forget about the boy. The swamp is a pit of gurgling nothingness. He who enters shall slip from existence and be forgotten by all. He's right. But I like how Keats says, she's right, as if Keats knows, you know. Ellen, do not listen to him. The Lord or the boy, the netherworld or reality. Those are awfully difficult choices. But choices she must make. Ellen, pray tell your wish. Fairy Lord, please forgive me. I must save Herv. Keats, thank you for telling me. I'll go after Herv. You're welcome. What a sweet girl she is. Wow, the space in that doesn't is crazy. Doesn't she know the dead can be followed anytime? Now I can go straight to the Forgotten Palace. Alright, so I don't have to retread the same area. Nice. Psychology stuff, call it how you want. People still say Titus all the time. When some say Eris, it doesn't matter. That's because it is Titus. Come on. Come on. Oh my goodness. When I finally get around to playing Final Fantasy X, I wanna troll people so much. named for the sun, not water themed. People conflate the game game having a lot of water with his character being water themed. That has we've had this discussion before, Skylore, but that has nothing to do with why I call him Titus. In fact, I don't even think like Tide necessarily has to have anything to do with water when it comes to his name. Ice blocks. But anyways, you know. People who named him have explained the origin of the name and how to say it. Let's say, I hope you're not referring to the voice actor, because... Not that I do not value the voice actor's expertise, but it just it can't be Titus. Gosh, what is going on? Oh my gosh. Alright, well. I had some issues there. Prevented me from getting what I wanted. That's the way I came, right? No? Okay. Almost every language besides English pronounces it that way. Well. One of the unfortunate aspects of living in a place that speaks English, I guess, is we have to deal with these ridiculous pronunciations. And I'll just reiterate that, like, my reasoning has nothing to do with, like, important stuff. Let's visit the book here. Alright, I need the big cannon guy. And then Looks like some fire, dude. Got you. My reasoning for Titus has everything to do with it's just the cooler sounding name. And as someone who has played Dungeons and Dragons, the rule of cool always wins. Walked into that little ice cube. Gosh, I'm dead. Let's try that again, shall we? Maybe we don't use that guy. Maybe we use the hinky pump. D&D was fun. The one time you played it for 2 years. Dungeons and Dragons is the bomb diggity. I need a mark. I'm gonna mark on this loading. I'm gonna mark on the loading screen that leads to that one guy. I don't think I went over here. I did not go over here. It was the sticky last time. I don't think I have anybody that does the sticky stuff. Of those. Not that. There we go. That's it. If I didn't like all of my free time nowadays goes into YouTube. Well, the majority of a good chunk of my free time. Maybe not all of it. You know, I still watch some streams and whatnot. But like, once I'm done with everything that I need to accomplish at work, I start working on the next encounter report, or whatever thing I need to work on. Or I start watching my next YouTube playthrough for the next Pantheon episode. It's just lots and lots of time. So with all the time that I put in on the YouTube side, I don't have time to, because like Dante and all of my old Dungeons and Dragons players, we did a campaign in like 2014, 2016, something like that, and we ran that to completion. And they're like, so when's the next campaign, you know? And it's been a ongoing thing since we completed that campaign. And you know, it doesn't look like we're or it doesn't look like it's gonna happen. Just because, like, I actually like working on the YouTube stuff that I work on. You know, it interests me, it fascinates me. I don't want to give that up. Let's take the two. That definitely should not have hit me. Do I have many followers on YouTube? No. I have just a small, tiny, itty-bitty little section of the internet that I can call my own. More subscribers, as it's called there. Ain't gonna happen unless you make it happen. Oh, I mean, if I quit my full-time job and dedicated that time to a Dungeons and Dragons campaign, sure, you know, but here's like here's my schedule. I work, or I wake up at 6:30. This is doing nothing. I wake up at 6:30. I stream at 7. I typically stream until about 11 o'clock. I spend the next 30 minutes-ish working on like cutting up all the videos from the stream that I just completed. And then I wanted to chill for a lot longer than I thought. So we have 12, or we're at 11:30. Then I start work at 1 p.m. But I also need to cook food or make food or go out to eat. That typically takes, between 20 and 30 minutes. So I get that, let's just say, somewhere between 11:50 and like 12:20. Then I eat my food. Which, takes however long it takes. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer if I'm watching a TV show or something like that while I'm eating. And then by the time I'm done eating, usually there's a little bit of time left. But I just wait for work to happen. And then I'm working. And work doesn't end until 9:45 at night. And I go to sleep. My bedtime is typically around like 9:30, 9:45. So I'm usually going to sleep around 10 o'clock. Okay. So tell me, where can I add in some time to work on a D&D campaign? What about my 2 days off each week from work? If I were to do a D&D campaign, it would be on a Saturday or a Sunday. And I would typically have a minimum 3-hour session. So I would have to spend the time after, like immediately after the session ends on that Saturday, let's just say that Saturday, to work on the next session, and then let's just say all of Sunday too. But then what about my YouTube channel? What am I gonna do? Like I put in a lot of time into my D&D campaigns. I make tokens, I make maps. I put a lot of time into it. I think in the past, you could probably say I put maybe like 20 hours a week into the game. That fluctuated depending on what players were doing, obviously. Sometimes they didn't do anything that session and I didn't have to do anything that week. But it changes. So it's really difficult. Like, and then what about all the other stuff that I would want to do? I would be dedicating basically as much time as possible to making sure the D&D campaign is as fun as possible, because that's what I would want to do. And I still want to do co-op games with people. I've had interest in doing a podcast for such a long time, but I haven't done it because I don't want to be in the position of starting a podcast and then something comes up and then I can't finish said podcast, or like I can't continue said podcast. So I haven't started one because of that. until, I guess, stability comes around. Like there's tons of projects and ideas and stuff like that I want to do. I also want to watch other people's streams. There's some movies that I want to watch. There's TV shows that I want to watch. Like the flexibility there. Like you could say, like, sure, you have 40, 45 hours to do all that stuff, but in actuality, like, people's lives don't work like that. You can't just like section everything that you want to do into a 45 hour period, which is actually less than that because I spend anywhere between 6 and 8 hours sleeping. So you gotta cut out at least 12 hours there from it. So it's not a lot of time. I'm starting to feel like Grayson. Just don't have a lot of time. Even I have all the time in the world, by the way. I have time, but I just don't have time. Unfortunate, really. Everything in the world is fated to crumble to nothing, so it is in the netherworld. Thought disappears from human minds, and so the afterlife is slowly forgotten. Can modern man create only a world like Borcadia? If so, then so be it. The netherworld is here for the benefit of the living. A bit different from how the fairies think. I suppose things don't always go as planned, both here and in the netherworld. The netherworld core can't wait to find out what kind of place that is. The folklore lives in the forgotten palace that lies beyond. Please be careful. Please be very careful. Alright, so these are... I'm gonna save first, and then I'm gonna talk to these guys. I needed to mark like a long time ago, and I didn't do that mark. I'm gonna do a safety mark right here. We might use this.